right, folks, welcome back to the Check Engine Light Club. I'm your host, Driftwood, and today we're diving in deep to the big 4-0 and beyond. I'm talking about relationships, aging, and how to keep life's engine on the road running smooth and healthy. So buckle up, because we're gonna get real. Yeah, I know it's a sad day when you need a forklift just to get yourself out of a chair. But hey, that's what it's like from 40 and beyond. It's like your body says, you know what? I've had enough of this standing around business. Time to plop down on a couch and take a leave. Unfortunately, sometimes getting back up is just not that easy. Whoa. Stop. It doesn't have to be that way. All right. I was sitting there listening to myself while I was recording this and thinking, you know what? It doesn't have to be that way. I know it's that way for a whole lot of you out there, and it was that way for me too. It was absolutely horrible. I'd go to try and get up off the couch. I felt like I pulled a muscle every single time. I was getting regular cramps, and I deal with chronic hypoxia, chronic diastolic heart failure. The list goes on and on and on. But there is something you can do about it. You've got to have the willpower, and I'm giving it to you right now. Here it comes, a big old willpower ball. That's for you, all right? Just gave you the energy. Now I'm going to show you a video that I watch in the morning, and I go through my stretching and my short workout. We're not lifting weights. We're using a chair. It's a bunch of upper body, a bunch of lower body workouts. It's quick. It gets the heart rate up, and I do this typically before I hop on the treadmill or go for my walk. Guys, so that's one of the most important workouts that I do. That's called the seated celebratory torso twist. Now, if you traded in your six-pack for a keg and your wife is looking at you more like the couch than the sex machine you used to be, you're going to want to hop on this one for sure. Sit down in that chair, get your twist on, get your exercise on. This thing actually obliterates the oblique and the abdominal fat, as well as hitting the shoulders. So if you've got the beer belly, if you've got the love handles, you're going to want to do the seated celebratory torso twist. Now that brings us to our second one, the seated diagonal crunch, and this one is a beast. All right, guys, that is the muffin top killer, the keg distiller. That's right. It's going to take that big old pot belly and turn it back into a six-pack. 45 seconds with a 15-second break. Do that 7 days a week. Take a picture, send it to me. I want to see the results, okay? And that brings us to number 3. Your lady's going to be happy I showed you this one. The seated single slow leg raise. Yeah, say that one 3 times fast. Here we go. single-seated leg raise is a beast, and I'm not complaining. I've got a lot of years under my belt, and I'm proud of most of them. But let's face it, as we get older, our bodies start to protest. It's like they're on strike saying, hey, we've had our fun, now it's time to slow down. But who wants to slow down, right? Hey. Not this old dog. I need you to open another jar for me. And relationships after 40? Yeah, well, let me tell you, that's a whole new ball game. When you're young, it's all about, what do you have going on tonight? When you're older, it's more like, oh, no, we're staying in for sure. When you're older, it's more like, yo, bro, what kind of pills are you on? When you're younger, it's like, what kind of ride are you driving? When you're older, it's, hey, you still drive? And can you hear me now? Seriousness though, folks, relationships do change with age. You start thinking a little bit less about the what ifs and a whole lot more about the right nows. And that's a good thing. It's like going from a really flashy sports car to a wood panel station wagon. Sure, you're not going to turn as many heads, but you're going to get where you're going a whole lot more comfortable and sure, nice and safe. And our kids, just not kids anymore. They're full-blown grown-up adults living their own lives with their own problems. And as for us, we're just here to watch them make the same mistakes we did, and hopefully they actually learn from them. But hey, that's life. It's a messy, beautiful, confusing, wonderful thing. And the best part about it is the older you get, the more you seem to understand that. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about health for just a minute, because let's face it, folks, the older you get, the more your body feels like a broken down truck and not like a sports car. Okay, you got your quirks, your rattles, and your odd little noises, but with a little bit of maintenance, you can continue to run like a dream. So listen up, because I'm about to give you some advice that'll make your doctor proud. That's right. Eat right, get plenty of sleep, and for the love of Pete, stay on top of those checkups. Trust me, you don't want to be the guy who's always complaining about his aches and pains when he could have taken advantage of some preventative medicine. I've been there, and I've done that. Now that brings us to the mailbag call-in section of the show. That's right. This is where people that have followed, liked, and subscribed like you're going to do right now, they decided they wanted to go ahead and write in or email us a question of the week. And we go through and pick out a few of those questions every single week for every single episode. And I come out with a nice little quick witty answer, hopefully giving some valuable information and a laugh along the way. And our first official mailbag email in for this week is Linda from Ohio. Now, Linda writes in, "Hi, Driftwood. I'm 52 years old. I just started dating again. Should I be honest about all my health issues with my date right off the bat?" Well, Linda, first date, might want to lay off the details. You don't want to overload the guy too much. And you might want to lay off, because what if there's something embarrassing in there that maybe they don't need to know, because maybe they don't want to go on a second date with you. You just don't know yet until you've gone on the date. And remember, honesty is always the right policy. When you find the right person, you're going to have the right time to bring up these things with them. And remember, the right person is going to love you for you. All the quirks and everything. All right, Linda, thanks for writing in. We appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button, Linda. We appreciate that as well. Okay, our next email in is Tom from California. That's right. "Hi, Driftwood. I'm 45 and I've got a 16-year-old son. Any advice on how to connect with them?" Well, Tom, try to remember what you love to do at that age, even though it's been quite a while. Then do that together, okay? And when all else fails, there's always pizza and video games. And that brings us to caller 3, Maria from Texas. Hey, Maria. Hopefully all is going well in your world. Thank you for writing in. Don't forget to hit the like button. We love hearing from you. She writes in, "Hi, Driftwood. I'm 47 years old. I've been feeling a little bit down lately. Any tips for staying positive?" Well, Maria, remember, life is a roller coaster. You've got your ups and downs for sure. You just got to find a way to get through them sometimes. But even if you're feeling down, Try and find one thing, no matter how small, to be grateful for. And that one thing can change minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day. If you have to, write a list of all the things that you find that you're grateful for on a piece of paper. And every day, and maybe even every minute, if you're really feeling down, find one thing on there that you can be grateful for in that minute. That should help you pull through. All right. Thanks, Maria. We wish you the best. Take care of yourself, okay? That brings us to caller 4. That's right, Bob from New York. Now, do you go by Bob or do you go by Robert? It says Bob here, so we're going to go ahead and call you Bob. It says, hi, Driftwood. I am 53 years old, and I've been having some trouble in the bedroom. Any advice? Oh, hey, Bob. Well, first, let's lose the word trouble, okay? It's natural. It happens. Why don't you go talk to your doctor? I'm sure he's heard about this before. It's probably nothing new. Things happen as we get older. We have higher blood pressure, intimacy problems, stress levels rise from financial, physical issues. There's a number of things that could be causing this problem you're having. But remember, intimacy isn't all about performance, okay? It's more about connection. So try that one and see if that helps. All right. Now, we've come to the end of the show, folks. That's right. It was a short one today. We got through everything nice and quick. It's all about the daily win. So, folks, today's daily win is a simple one. Find one thing you love about your age. Something that you couldn't do as much or appreciate as much when you're younger. And hold on to that. Because that's what makes life at 40 and far beyond so darn special. Well, that's a wrap for today, folks. Remember, I'm just a guy sitting in a chair talking about life, but I hope I've given you something to think about. So go out there, live life to the fullest, and don't forget to change the oil. All right? Thanks for joining me here at the Check Engine Club. I'm Driftwood, and we'll see you next week.